Have you ever finished your run with bloody knees and skinned hands? If you have, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then we'll head over to the table and talk about your IFAK. All right, what is an IFAK? An IFAK is individual first aid kit. And the question is, should you be carrying an IFAK? Especially when running or hiking far away from home or kind of like away from civilization. So the short answer is yes, you should be carrying an IFAK. We'll try to answer what you should have in it, or at least what I have in mind, and when you should carry it, and how. Because even though I say the short answer is yes, that you should always carry it, there is some circumstances that you're probably not going to carry one, such as a 5K race. You probably want, or a 10K race or something like that. But we'll get into that a little deeper near the end of the video. Like I said, the best bet is to always carry it. Now let's talk about what I have in mind, and you can kind of build yours based on this if you decide that you think it's a good idea to carry one. You're probably not going to want to carry a tourniquet unless you plan on having a massive hemorrhage, or Israeli bandage, or chest seals. You don't plan on getting shot. This is stuff that is a little bit overkill. One of the things that I do have in mind is these really large bandaids. These things are huge. I don't know if you can kind of see through that. These things I think are something like 4 inches by 6 inches, and then the actual pad that goes against the wound is something like 1 3/4 inches by 3 inches. So these things are really great, and they also have Neosporin already on the pad. So I always carry 2 of those, and I also carry some antiseptic wipes. These are kind of like, like alcohol prep pads or something. Carry those. So I'm not normally one to wipe out, but I have, and the kind of odd, the times that I wiped out and busted myself up pretty bad, I did not have my IFAK on me because I had that mindset that I would need it today. So I also carry some antibacterial wipes that will allow me to kind of clean the blood up off my legs or my hands or whatever, and kind of clean that up, put some, it's antibacterial, clean the grit and grime or whatever, maybe rock pebbles and stuff out of my knees, and before I put on these large band-aids. And then I'll also carry just your standard small band-aids, and I also carry a blister kit, which I don't have with me, but I do have a clothespin that I put on a little bungee thing here. This helps me find it easier. But if I need to pop a blister, I guess blister popping is kind of controversial. And then one of the last things that I carry in my IFAK is I carry a couple of these emergency blankets. And these emergency blankets they're really lightweight, and I think they're probably like not even $1 a piece, or you can buy, I think I bought like a 5-pack or 6-pack of these for $6 or $7 on Amazon. So I'll put a link in the description of all this stuff. There's something else you might want to consider carrying. I don't, but I might in the future, I don't know, is some like elastic bandage. So you could pair this with some gauze pads. So if you take a hard fall and these band-aids are not going to cover it, or these band-aids are just not going to work, you know, where you are bleeding from. You could clean it up and then put some of these gauze pads on it and then wrap it with these. And you know, there's a couple reasons why you would want to do this. One is you don't want infection. So if you know you're out in the woods, sometimes me and some of my friends will go running for 8 or 10 hours. We'll be gone, you know, from 5 a.m. until late, and we're 40, 50 miles away from civilization. So, you know, it's kind of important to take care of yourself while you're out there. But the other thing is you might get hurt and not be able to make it back to civilization when you want to. So, you know, that's kind of like the reason I carry these emergency blankets is you never know what might happen. I mean, God forbid you break a leg or something, and you know, if you broke a leg, obviously this stuff here is not going to help a lot. But if it's cold or sorry about the lawnmower, my neighbors are deciding to do everything today. But if you're going to be out and you break your leg or whatever, and you can't make it to back to civilization, get help or whatever right away, and you have to end up spending the night, these could be a lifesaver because these reflect your heat right back to you. The reason I carry two is I can put one on the ground and lay on it if need be, and then the other one I can cover up with it. So if you don't have these, I mean, if there's one thing you carry, I think it should be these. So let's talk about when you should carry these things. For me, I started carrying them all the time. So last year I took a really bad fall right before I was going to crew Andrew at Western States, and ended up getting an MRI on my legs, and they said I bruised the bones really bad. And other than kind of hurting my my ego a bit, because I'm kind of one that doesn't fall a lot, I was okay, but I didn't have an IFAK with me, so I had to run. Well, I kind of hobbled and ran back to my vehicle with extremely bloody legs. So, you know, people are looking at me and thinking, wow, you need some help. But it's nice to be able to clean yourself up and get yourself wrapped up, and then when you get home, or if you need to, you can go to the doctor and then, you know, get further care. But aside from carrying it all the time, just out training, there's some races that I won't, you know, I wouldn't carry in. Like I said at the beginning of the video, is 5K or 10K or something like that. But if I'm doing a probably a 50K or more, maybe 50 miler, definitely the 50-mile mark and the 100-milers or 100K, I'm definitely going to carry the large band-aids and the blankets and the antibacterial wipes and my blister kit. But you know, it might depend on how close the drop bags are also. If the aid station or my drop bag is really close together, you know, say every 10 miles or something, I might not worry about it. But I've done some races where my drop bags are really far apart, so I make sure I carry those. And a lot of this stuff is really lightweight. I mean, you know, a couple of these big bandages and, you know, all of this, 2 of these emergency blankets, it doesn't weigh very much. And, you know, if you're always training with it, that little bit of added weight is definitely not going to hurt you. I mean, maybe if you're, you know, in the top 5 or something of your race, then you're probably not going to care about this stuff. But for me, I definitely carry it. Not only do I carry it in these in the bigger races. So, for example, there's Pond to Palm 100-miler coming up in the fall. Hopefully, my back I got all that straightened out by then, and I'll be able to get my training in. But there, I'll be carrying the basics with me, and then each of my drop bags will have one of these kits in it. So that's something to think about. You might want to build several of these kits, one for several drop bags, and then one to carry on yourself. And what I do, so that leads me into my next topic, is how do I carry this? I just got these really big Ziploc bags, and I just put it all in there. And of course I've got my toilet paper. You never know when you might need that. And then I just kind of roll this up tightly and zip it up, and then just stick this. You know, I guess it depends on your vest also, but then I just stick this down in the back of my vest and zip it up, and I don't even know it's there. There may be some races that actually require some of this stuff, but I haven't come across any yet. Yep. So anyway, that kind of wraps it up. If carrying IFAK is new to you, let me know your thoughts. And then in the next video, I'm going to that I try to get out soon, we're going to talk about carrying food and what kind of food, and what distances should you be carrying food. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.